Wait, it's Sunday and you're not back up at Cuca Lake? What? Okay, so, full disclosure, the wedding was in a place called Alpine, which wound up at least feeling closer to Elmira than to Cuca Lake. And plus, even if I was up at Cuca Lake, I would have had to get up early, make sure everything was locked and turned off and everything, and then head home. Because I do plan on seeing my dad early this morning, but later, obviously after I do this video, of course. So, and let's be real here, with gas prices the way they are, I mean, they're better, but they're not like what they were beforehand. So, yeah, that's why I'm back in Elmira. And honestly, it's fine. Honestly, last night it was like really, really cold and stuff. And it's actually a little warmer this morning than it was last night, if you can believe it. At least I thought so. But as of right now, that's why I'm in Elmira. Yeah, that's one less lake video I'm able to do, but I'll be honest, I already had a late start to doing lake videos in the beginning anyway, because we didn't come out to the lake until Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, so that Monday was the first one. So I was already at least 2 days behind. So why not go all the way with it? I mean, the way I think about it, I try and do at least 30, but I really would try and do like 36, just because that actually would be, 1/10 of the year. But, a month's worth of Cuca Lake videos, yeah, that's fine. I'm positive I got up to 30. If I'm not up to 30, I'm close to it. So there's that. And how about I get into my low, my high, my act of kindness? But before that, happy Sunday, everyone. Well, I'm gonna work backwards for this one, because yesterday morning my father and I helped my father put the jet ski away. That's my act of kindness. And it was funny. You would think that the most difficult part of, the process, which is actually putting the jet ski onto, the trailer that's in the water, is like the most difficult part and the most complicated part. But the most complicated thing wound up being putting the tarp over the jet ski where we leave it for the entire winter. So that happened. But in the end, it was something that we had to do, and I'm glad I helped my dad out. That was my act of kindness. Now to get to both my low and my high. I'll just straight up, my high was literally everything that happened last night. Literally everything that happened last night. Literally the ceremony, the people, the food, the dancing, the music, everything. I'll get into that momentarily. Actually, yeah, I'll do that in a moment. I'll save the pics for the end, don't worry. And my low, if you couldn't already tell, is that, man, I really wish last night wouldn't end. Because I really gave it some thought. And I'd like to say I gave it a good solid 8 hours of sleep, but no way that happened. Honestly, I think I maybe got at best 6. Oh man, I am absolutely tired, but you know what? The fatigue is worth it. The fatigue is totally worth it. Because after giving it some thought, yesterday was probably the best day of 2022 for me. When I said that I was really hoping that, this weekend would sort of kickstart off essentially a final third. Well, really, it's more like, at this point, it's really more like a final quarter now of 2022. Like, this is exactly what I was hoping for. Because yesterday did not disappoint at all. I mean, even the one thing that I even had a slight problem with, I'm not even remotely mad at. Because at the end of the day, it really isn't about me. It was about the bride and the groom at the wedding that I went to yesterday. And it was wonderful. You know, the ceremony was beautiful. It was on this one place called the Fontainebleau Inn in Alpine, New York. It overlooks Cayuga Lake. It's kind of a lesser known lake, but the setting was beautiful, overlooking the water. You know, the ceremony was, wonderful. There was some lady did something in Polish, I believe it was. That was great, or maybe it was Icelandic. I forget, but everything about that ceremony was great. And I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I have never cried at a wedding until yesterday. I'm being dead serious. Yesterday was the first time I've ever cried at a wedding. And through it all, I was trying to think, why? Because being overcome with, obviously, this is a wedding. Emotions are all over the place for everyone. So crying at a wedding really isn't anything new, but I personally have never done that. And I kept asking myself, why? And, obviously, one of the obvious reasons is that the ceremony and the union was beautiful, of course. That's a no-brainer. But there's more to it than that, at least for me. I've made it no secret that, I always get kind of depressed at weddings, and B, which I'll get into a little more in December, for many, many, many years, it was believed that I was on the autism spectrum. And, I would wake up every day feeling depressed or feeling rejected and all sorts of negative emotions that I'm going to be getting into more of that in December because that's what I'm going to do. And only last year in 2021, literally over a year ago, was I properly diagnosed with pragmatic communication disorder and depression. Depression kind of makes sense in a way, but between everything up until August of 2021 and, the sort of wandering about life, not knowing what the hell I'm doing, because remember, I did contemplate suicide once, again, because of the autism thing. I would literally go to a wedding saying, that's not me, and it never will be. Yesterday was the first time where I'm at the wedding, watching the ceremony unfold, and I thought about how, because here's the thing, the person who got the groom, I've known the groom since I was a kid. He was my neighbor for, like 10 years or something. Then he moved away. But, we went back to high school together. And it was great, and, everything's fine. But for one thing, and this goes back to the whole contemplations of suicide thing, I got to live to see that. The ceremony that was yesterday, I saw that. I was there. I got to see this. This is not only did I get to see it, but I got to be there surrounded by people whom I haven't seen in years. Some of which I never thought I'd ever see again. But it all happened. I was there. I got to see all that unfold. And it was one of the most beautiful things ever. It literally filled me. And here's the thing, if there's one thing I've learned from therapy, it's your emotions don't ask for permission. Yesterday during the ceremony, as I was, this is the first time I legit let him play out. And it wound up having tears roll down my eyes. Happy tears, of course. Because it just filled me with hope. That's what it was. Real, legitimate hope. I went from saying, that's not me up there, and it never will be, to saying, that's not me up there, but someday it will be. Yeah. I thought of that. On my own. Holy cows and tears are forming. I said before, the time for me to have actually done suicide was way back in 2008, 2009. And obviously it never happened, and it's never going to happen. And I've gone through life not knowing what the hell I'm doing, with just a goal of just finding some meaning in a happy life. I do know one thing. Should I ever get lucky enough to find that special someone to spend the rest of my life with, for starters, I'm definitely going to invite everybody that I was with yesterday. Y'all know who you are. It makes me absolutely sure that one day, that's going to be me up there in the altar. Holding the hand of the woman I would like to spend the rest of my life with, surrounded by friends and family. And again, I get to say this because I'm still alive to be able to say it. And it was beautiful. It was all beautiful. And that was just the ceremony itself. I haven't even gotten into, all the great food that there was. There was, the food, there was veggie plates and charcuterie and cheese and stuff like that. There were, people had little hors d'oeuvres, little crab cakes and little seared tuna with wasabi and a beef tenderloin on bread and horseradish. That stuff was great. The entrees were like meat, fish, and a vegetarian option. There was a roasted potatoes, couscous, or roasted vegetables in a balsamic glaze. There was like cake. There was a grilled cheese bar too. Like there was like a grilled cheese with pesto, a grilled cheese with like tomato and caramelized onion, a grilled cheese and bacon. Those are all really great. And you're at a wedding, so free drinks, yay! I had like one glass of wine though. It was a Cabernet. Oh darn it! It was a white wine. What was the name of it? That part isn't important. The important thing is that I had a blast yesterday. I really have never been more filled with hope now than I have in like a long time. Oh, actually, let me rephrase that. It's been a long time since I've ever been filled with this much hope and optimism. Again, I don't know what the future holds, so maybe this really will be only temporary. But if that winds up being the case, then I'm definitely going to never take this for granted. Like, I'm making this count, man. And nothing's ever going to change that. So, now that my emotions haven't welled up anymore, how about I get into my NFL picks for today? By the way, in case anyone's wondering, I'm actually going to be going to church this morning because afterwards I'm going to help my father with a picnic. There's going to be like a church picnic later, so I'm going to help out with that. Or at least go see him. Okay, so the NFL picks for today. The Bills and the Dolphins. Ooh. The Dolphins have actually proven to be better than I thought they were ever going to be. This will be the first true test for the Buffalo Bills. But I'm not backing off from the Buffalo Bills. I still think the Bills are going to win it all, and I don't think they're losing today. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's see, the Bengals and the Jets. Okay, listen, the Bengals have been struggling a lot. If they lose to the Jets, then there really is no hope. But then again, if the Jets are able to beat the Browns, I suppose anything's possible. So Bengals, I'm going to give you one more chance. Don't you mess that up, okay? I still have you being a contender in the NFL. Don't you mess this up. They're the Jets. Thank you. The Raiders and the Titans. Okay. I'm thinking the Raiders should win this. Because top to bottom, the Raiders have a better roster than the Titans. Plus, I really want to be able to say the Arnold win chant at some point. Because I haven't done that yet this season. So, I'm picking the Raiders over the Titans. The Saints and the Panthers. Look at this real quick. I don't know what's wrong with the Panthers, but honestly, the Saints defense is going to be the reason why they're going to be even remotely good. So I'm picking the Saints over the Panthers. The Ravens and the Patriots, ooh, that's going to be a good game too. Because both teams are 1-1 right now. But here's the thing. When New England beat Pittsburgh, it's weird. When New England beat Pittsburgh, it was pretty much by a narrowly so, even though the Steelers didn't have TJ Watt. Meanwhile, the Ravens made the one mistake of letting Tyreek Hill go. That's why they lost last week. I don't think the Ravens are going to make that mistake twice, especially since knowing the Patriots is as good as Tyreek Hill. So I'm going to go with the Ravens. The Lions and the Vikings. Call me crazy, but I trust Kirk Cousins a lot more than Jared Goff. So I'm picking the Vikings over the Lions. The Eagles and the Commanders. Carson Wentz going up against his old team. That's going to be something. It's a tough call, and at the very end of the day, the Eagles do have to lose for the Cowboys to have a chance of winning the division. So I'm going to go with the Commanders over the Eagles. Although I will admit, I think the Eagles are actually going to win this. Let's see, the Chiefs and the Colts. Oh, that's easy. The Colts, I'm never cheering for the Colts. I can't believe, every time I pick the Colts to win, they lose. Every time I pick the Colts to lose, they win. That won't be the case because they're playing against the Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes is a grown man. So, the Chiefs over the Colts, that's my pick. Lock that one in. Texans and the Bears. I'll be honest, neither team is really that good. But if push comes to shove, plus I am wearing the jersey for it, I'll go the Bears. See, Jaguars and the Chargers. Oh, that's an easy one. The Chargers. I didn't even think about that one. See, the Rams and the Cardinals. Another easy one. Rams. Oh, that was a pretty. The Cardinals had a big win last week, but I would still say the Rams have a better roster, so I'm picking the Rams over the Cardinals. The Packers and the Bucks. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady. Like, that's hard. You know, Tom Brady is the GOAT. Enough said. The Bucks are going to win this game, okay? I really hope I'm not wrong. I really hope I'm not wrong about that. Or, I really hope I'm right about that. I have no idea what I just said. Falcons and the Seahawks. Actually, did the Falcons win? No, they did not. Yeah, Seahawks over the Falcons. And tonight's game is the 49ers and the Broncos. Let's see. Both teams are pretty solid overall. They're both 1-1. But at the very end of the day, the 49ers have one thing. Or at least the Broncos just got Russell Wilson. And he's been, for the most part, living up to what he's worth. Which is ironic because Russell Wilson was on the Seahawks when the Seahawks beat the Broncos in Super Bowl 48. And it was a shellacking. Super Bowl 48 was a complete shellacking of the Broncos. Holy cow. And Russell Wilson was the quarterback for the Seahawks. So there you go. And even though Russell Wilson is clearly a better quarterback than any of the QBs that have been at Denver since Peyton Manning left, the 49ers, actually the 49ers are starting Trey Lance, aren't they? Oh, I know, Jimmy G. Trey Lance is out, so they're starting Jimmy G. So yes, while Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Jimmy G, the 49ers they actually have two things. Three if you include Trent Williams, that they have the Broncos or no one else has. Nick Bosa and George Kittle. Thank you. So I'm picking the 49ers over the Broncos. So that said, my picks for today are Let's Go Buffalo, the Bengals, the Raiders, the Saints, the Ravens, the Vikings, the Commanders, the Chiefs, the Bears, the Chargers, the Rams, the Buccaneers, the Seahawks, and the 49ers. So you can lock those picks in, and hopefully I will not have a losing. Hopefully I'll actually do better this week than the previous 2 weeks. So I hope you all liked this video, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do YouTube channel greatly. Follow me on social media. As always, I am very humbled that I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. And hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend you an ear. I'll always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.